Well, hey guys, you might be wondering why I'm cutting vegetables up on this metal cutting chop saw. So here's the plan. You're gonna sell it to your wife that it's actually a great food processor. And then you can have it for your shop, actually. All right, you guys, enough cutting vegetables. This is a quick review on a 14-inch metal cutting chop saw. The name's kind of stupid, it's called a Slugger, but it's made by the company FEIN, and it actually cuts vegetables extremely well, and it cuts metal pretty damn well too. So stick around and check out the video.
Let's get this box all cut open, get this crap out of here. Oh, styrofoam down. Plastic bag. Get out of your box. It looks like it moves up and down good.
Alright, all this is pretty self-explanatory, but we'll go over it. It's got a motor, it's got a blade, cuts really damn good. It doesn't really bog down in cuts. It's got a cast aluminum base, and it's got a pretty sturdy fence. It's got a really nice clamp. It's got a quick release on the clamp like that. What else can I say? It's a pretty damn good chop saw. Cut square right out of the box. It's got a pretty heavy duty spring return. There you go, I'm showing it to you. It's also got some pretty heavy duty hinges. Cut really, really well. Pretty good saw. Oh, here we go, check it out. Well, this is actually the first cut with this thing. I was quite impressed with how good it worked. One nice thing about this saw is it doesn't blow out a bunch of sparks and nasty dust like those crappy abrasive saws. Those things pretty much suck. I'm sorry guys if you got one. Another nice thing is that's cool to touch, so you can touch it right after the bat and it won't burn your hand. Well, that angle iron cut pretty damn good. Let's try it on some other scrap metal. Alright dudes, all joking aside, you probably should not let your wife use this in the kitchen at all. And even if you let her use it in the shop, she better be well trained on how to use a power tool like this, okay? Alright, again, as stupid as the name is, Slugger! This saw is pretty awesome. It's actually saved me quite a few hours on this job alone. The cuts just come out so clean, there's really no metal prepping work and deburring. So it might be a little hard to get your wife talked into a tool like this. She might not want you to buy it until you tell her how good it is for cutting bread and other things in the kitchen. Works great. Yeah, cut up some bread. We're gonna have some meat and cheese in a little bit here. I mean, it's just spectacular how much faster it is. It saves so much time. If you really enjoyed the video so far, please hit like and subscribe. I appreciate it. It helps promote my channel. And if you're interested in this chop saw, there's going to be a link in the description below where you can purchase it. A direct link to Amazon. All right, enjoy the rest of the video. Here's a little tip for blade life. You really want to try to cut in the vertical position on most of your metal as much as you can. You don't really want to cut in the horizontal position because it's a longer rip through the cut. But this 2x6 box tubing was too big to fit under the guard and blade, so I had to rip it in the horizontal position. But after all the cuts, the blade still looks perfectly fine. Well, here's that stack of metal I just got cut on that project, and the thing cut extremely good. It saved me probably 3 hours in metal cutting compared to a metal cutting bandsaw, and super clean cuts. As you can see, some of the metal shavings kind of got blown out from around over here. Not too big of a thing in a fab shop of any sort, but let's see what the tray actually caught. You know what? Probably about a little more than half of it made in the tray. That's not bad. Pretty awesome cuts on this thing. It's amazing how fast it cuts this half-inch solid bar. So here I'm using my Vulcan welder to weld all this half-inch bar together. It's going to be used as a floor grate in this specialty glue press. Alright you guys, this is the big reason why I ordered this thing for my work. This is one of 16 of these I have to make. And they're 2 feet wide and 84 inches long, and this is one side of a special glue press, and there's going to be a bunch of crossbars connecting the two. So anyways, that saw is going to save me a lot of time just to be able to cut this kind of stuff, and it just makes such nice clean cuts. I'll bring you back over here and show you with the square how nice these cuts are. They come right out of here just perfect, ready to weld. I didn't have to do any prep work at all, just put them together and maybe cleaned off some of the mill slag and the oil off of the parts, and just started welding them. So this is one part of a pneumatic glue press I'm building. Its job is to hold pressure on wooden blocks as the glue dries. As you can see, beautiful cuts right off the bat. This thing cuts great. Good quality saw. This platform I'm welding up here is a little kind of a turntable for it. And that's going to be so you can mount it on sawhorses if you're doing some work, you smaller pieces. It's not going to be for 20-foot sticks, of course, but it's going to have extender arms out here that will go out and have some supports on each side, and it should all slide in. The saw will just come off it. It's going to be able to be something you can clamp down to a welding table or some sawhorses. And if you're cutting, 8-foot sticks and smaller. And the idea of it pivoting is to turn this to 45. You pivot the saw and your metal still runs lengthwise down the supports here. That's kind of the reasoning for that, but I'm still working on that. I'll put a link in the video when I get this done, just kind of show you guys the measurements on it and how I made it and everything. Most of the things I like about the saw is a few small minor things I don't like about it, but really they're very, very minor. I'll point those out. So the one thing I don't really like about it, the biggest thing, is when you put it down to pack it around here, you got this silly chain. I can't really do it holding the camera, but you got this little hook right up under this guard, which is awkward to even get to, and you got this little tiny chain. I don't know, man, this is so cheap. I mean, it seems something hokey someone come up with at home, that's fine, but for a manufactured saw, this is what holds the head down when you're transporting it, and you have to hook it up and hook the chain under the guard here, and it just seems kind of stupid. They should just put a lock somewhere on it. I think that would have been better. Like I said, it's pretty minor, but it's one of those things to point out. This little thing I had come loose a few times. All it is just a lock for your handle, so you can make the handle come in and out so it doesn't bump the ground if you're cutting on the ground. Not a big thing, but it's kind of a little cheaper plastic knob. Not a problem. The clamp, however, seems to be nice. I like that they put this quick release on here to get your part out of there or slide it up so you're not hand cranking inches of material in and out of here. This on the back seems to line up pretty well. The gauge out here for 0 seems to be pretty much 0 when you're cutting. Chip tray does okay. I couldn't imagine any of these saws, the way they're flinging metal around, that they could really capture. It captures about 50% of the chips, so I guess that's 50% less you have to sweep up. But there's a wing nut here, and it takes, I don't know, numerous 20 turns or something to get it out of here. It's a little on the slow go inside. It seems like they could have done a just quicker release of some sort, but it's okay. Like I said, these are pretty minor, but there's a chip tray. The saw overall works pretty good. It's got this pretty nice heavy duty guard on here that swings out of the way when you push it down. The final thing, and I don't know if this is very common on these saws this size, but I really wish it had an electric brake on it or something to slow the blade down. Say if you made a cut and you got a little piece of metal hanging out right here, like an inch or two, sitting on this platform, I don't really like to bring it up past that. I don't want to have a problem where it catches the piece of metal and pulls it in here, it gets caught in the guard. And so you're usually waiting until the blade runs down, which is another 10 seconds or something for small pieces, let's say. If it's a big piece, you just scoot it out of the way or it drops away. It's not a big problem. But for small pieces, I wish it had like a brake on the electric motor that would just slow it down a lot quicker, like a typical wood cutting chop saw. All right, you guys, hope you enjoyed the review of this 14-inch chop saw. Here's the project I've been working on. It's not finished yet, but there's 1/4-inch plates welded on this 1/8-inch tubing that I cut with the Slugger. I really like that chop saw. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. I'm going to be doing another video on welding these parts together. I did a little titanium Vulcan comparison on MIG duty cycles, and I was really surprised how good those welders did. So if you're interested in that video, be a link up here. And this saw I ordered for the company I work for, and it's been pretty damn good. I really like it. But there's a Skill 12-inch I'm looking at for my home shop, and I will do a comparison video down the road of these two. I'll put a link up here, and if you guys are interested in that Skill saw, I'll link it right here as well for that video. So stick around and check out the other videos, hit like and subscribe. Take care, guys. Bye.